I've been working in communications for more than 20 years and writing has naturally always been a key part of my working life. One of the things people always ask me is how they can write quickly and concisely while still being impactful, and I always tell them about the inverted pyramid writing technique. This approach is commonly used in journalism, but it can also be applied to other forms of writing like business reports, academic papers, blog posts, or even on social media. The technique involves structuring your content in the way that prioritises the most important information first, followed by the key supporting details and then the background information. It's different to traditional storytelling techniques where the story tends to build up to a climax or a resolution. The reason inverted pyramid writing is so effective that it caters to our natural tendency to skim and scan content rather than read it thoroughly. When reading a news article, for example, most people only read the first paragraph or two before deciding whether or not to continue reading, and I'm sure you're the same. By putting the most important information first, you're more likely to capture your reader's attention and keep them engaged, and that's the really important bit. In addition, this technique is also useful in situations where the reader may not have the time to read through an entire article or report, and I'm sure you can relate to that too. By providing the most important information up front, you make sure that the reader gets the key takeaway messages, even if they don't have the time to read everything. The structure typically consists of three parts: the lead, the body, and the tail. The lead, which is also known as the hook, is the most important part of the structure. It should be concise, attention-grabbing, and summarise the most important information within the piece. It should answer the who, what, when, where, and how of the story in the first sentence or two. The body of the piece provides supporting details and expands upon the information that's been presented in the lead. It's structured in descending order of importance, which means the most important information is presented first, followed by the supporting details and the background information. Each paragraph should contain a single idea or piece of information, and each subsequent paragraph should build upon the previous one. Finally, you've got the tail, or the conclusion, and this provides any additional context or commentary on the main ideas presented earlier in the piece. It should still be structured in descending order of importance, with the most important information presented first. The goal of the tail is to leave the reader with a clear understanding of the main points that you've made and provide a sense of closure to the piece. So let's look at an example. Imagine you're writing a news article about a major earthquake that's just happened. If we're using the inverted pyramid writing technique, you'd start by providing the most important information first, such as the location, the magnitude of the earthquake, the number of casualties, and any immediate action that's being taken by the emergency services, and that is your lead. You'd then follow up with some supporting details, such as eyewitness accounts or statements from the local officials, and this section is your body. Finally, you might provide some background information about the region, any relevant historical information, and maybe some final thoughts to wrap everything up. And this is your tail. By using the inverted pyramid writing technique, you ensure that your readers get the most important information right away, rather than burying it in the middle or at the end of the article where it might get missed. This helps to keep your reader engaged and informed, and ensures that your writing is as effective as it possibly can be. Of course, there's some situations where the technique is not going to be appropriate. For example, if you're writing a narrative or a creative piece, you may want to build suspense and leave the more important information for later on in the story. However, for most forms of informational writing, the technique is a really powerful tool that can help you communicate as effectively as possible. Overall then, the inverted pyramid writing technique can be a really valuable approach. By structuring your content in the way that prioritises the most important information first, you can capture your reader's attention, ensure that they get the key takeaway messages, even if they don't have time to read everything. So whether you're writing a news article, a business report, an academic paper, or anything else, the technique is definitely worth considering. I hope you found this quick introduction helpful. If so, please do like and subscribe and stay tuned for more communication tips.